My name is James Super Rodriguez, and I earned 1,407%, and I became Dukascopy Trader of the Month.
So James, I don't even know where to start with you. It was such an incredible month for yourself. Why in particular was May so successful?
That's a good question. You know, I think that going into the month of May, I had a strong indication of what I felt like the market was going. And that kind of just happened right at the beginning of the month. So right off the bat, like I felt like I was going to jump into the trade and, you know, go from there.
So what was that strong indication at the beginning of the month?
I look at like probabilities. Like that's what I'm really big on in the market. I backtest strategies. I look at, see what's happened in the past. And going forward, I develop probabilities based on what's going to happen to trades in the future. So, and when this particular month started, there's only 4% of all the trades in the year that this month started with. So I look at like all my trades, and then this month of May started with a trade that would only happen 4% of the time throughout the year. So I was able to open up this trade, and then it did complete successfully in the direction I wanted to go. And that gave me like kind of like a start into the month of May.
Does that mean you were slightly more aggressive than you normally are?
Yeah, I was more aggressive this month because I did want to compete. You know, this is it's a competition. This trade of the month, I definitely wanted to compete. I just tend to be a competitive type person, and this is an opportunity where I was able to do it. So.
Does that mean you're using a lot of leverage, and were you being slightly more risky than you normally are?
Leverage is probably one of the things that kind of like propelled me to this point. Obviously, that type of percentage gains, you're not going to be able to get it unless you do several hundreds of trades. But I did have a calculated leverage. Like I did calculate specific entry points and probabilities, so I know that like if I was going to hit higher leverage, I knew that this would be a more probable trade. The opportunities where I felt like the trade would be more probable, then I would increase the leverage.
And are you using lots of different charts and indicators, or do you keep it quite simple?
I keep it pretty simple. I do look at like the economic calendar. Like the economic calendar is very important to me. I avoid days where there's not a lot of volatility or economic data coming through, because I think that you can't really go off of anything if you don't have any numbers coming into the economic calendar. What are you going to base your trades on if you have no like knowledge of? But the thing about like the economic calendar though is like it's important to be able to understand that data too, because sometimes the numbers will appear like it's doing good for that particular currency, but if you look a few months past or maybe even a year past, you can see like the trends of that data. Even though it might be a little bit more positive, it still might not be good enough where it's going to be stronger than a certain the counter currency. So.
You say you pay close attention to the economic calendar.
Mm-hmm.
Are you trading immediately after a news release comes out, or do you wait for a period?
No. I know some traders do that, but I tend not to do that. I tend to have like a more broader scope and involve like more like a daily trend and see like where the day will go, rather than just like, okay, economic data, click. Because sometimes that's like that type of reaction might not be very effective in the marketplace.
This isn't sustainable though, is it, surely, to get more than 1,400% in 1 month? You can't do that every month.
Yeah, I mean like 17, my monthly goal is like 17% increase in profit. If I average out the past 5 years, it averages 17% to about 26% a month. Well, we're staying at the Boat Rivage, thanks to Dukascopy, and then we're going to probably explore the city, maybe go on a little boat ride or something. But it's a beautiful city as far as I can tell.
And Courtney, you're married to an expert Forex trader. What's that like?
I'm so proud of him. Pretty amazing.